Pony Pants, the only place for pony fashion news. Tonight we devote our entire episode to an equine fashion craze that is sweeping through the rural community with devastating effects. Since London 2012, the general public have taken equestrianism to their hearts, but with it has come a worrying equine fashion trend that has left Team GB in chaos. Tonight, we meet two of its victims. Pony panters across the nation are growing ponytails, having a fringe cut in, and wearing a dressage headband in the style of their dressage hero or a kid from Fame. This fashion crisis is causing untold damage and putting the lives of thousands of riders across the globe at risk. We cross to Dr. Christian Flickytrot at the really big London Hospital for Broken Heads to tell us more.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Christian Flickytrot from the really big London Hospital for Broken Heads, so let me explain a little bit. Basically, since London 2012, what we've been seeing is a rapid increase in the number of teenage girls, grown women and occasionally grown men growing their fringe and wearing the dressage headband. And what starts off as a fashion craze, I think it's fashion crazy personally, but what starts off as a simple nod towards fashion actually starts to have a very negative effect on the body. As the hair grows larger, the headband gets tighter, and this puts an abnormal amount of pressure on the brain, so the decision-making capability is significantly altered. Also, within a couple of months, the person starts to grow their fringe even longer, and thus their eyesight deteriorates. And because the rider can no longer see very well, what then starts to happen about 3 months in is that riders find themselves immediately attracted to anything shiny. This could be in the form of a blingy brow band, a crystal top whip, blingy plaits, glitter spray, and then in the final stages, a patent boot. Can you imagine? In the next stages of the disease, the rider starts to get completely carried away. They start to bandage every inch of available flesh of their horse, often in a brightly coloured fleece bandage which matches the saddlecloth and also the rider's headband. This is when the rider truly starts to lose the plot. They also start using sheepskin everywhere at this point of the disease. In the final stages of the disease, we often find the riders just jumping on their horse without a riding hat. Fashion crazy if you ask me, but at this point of the disease, the pressure on the brain is so great that riders have completely lost the ability to think for themselves.
Scary stuff, I'm sure you'll agree. Tonight on Pony Pants, we meet two riders affected by the fashion craze. First of all, equestrian darling Binky Fitzwilliam.
Last summer, Binky Fitzwilliam had it all. Well known for her perfect hair and her trademark pearls, this Cotswold's darling was on the dressage team from the age of 2.
That is, until last month, a tragic accident in training left her dressage dreams in tatters. Always a fan of colour coordination, on that fateful day last month in May, Binky had opted for a gentle zebra stripe bandage for her horse Blackberry, and was wearing a matching zebra print headband herself. With a cocktail party later in the day, she had opted to leave her riding hat in the tack room. It's a day she will never forget. Binky had been working Blackberry for about 40 minutes that day. She was halfway down a line of one-time changes when suddenly she realised she was quite high up in the air. She has very little memory of the incident, but the CCTV footage reveals a golden eagle had mistaken her headband for roadkill and had swooped down and lifted her clean up from the saddle by her headband. It was only 2 miles later, when the eagle realised its mistake, that it dropped her into a local forest. After a nationwide search of some 3 weeks, Binky was found last week in some neighbouring woodland. It transpired that for those 3 weeks she had survived on acorns and berries. We have this dramatic footage of her rescue.
Help. Help.
And now, 2 days later, we caught up with Binky at home.
Binky, we can only imagine what you've been through, but I just wanted to say thank you for agreeing to come and talk to us on Pony Pants today.
Thank you.
Do you mind me asking what on earth has happened to your hair, Binky?
My hair? I couldn't blow dry it. I blow dry it every day, and that's really hard in the woods. And I lost my pearls. Nobody wants to marry a girl from Cirencester if she hasn't got any pearls.
Binky, this may be too soon, but I wondered if we were going to see you riding again.
No. No, not anymore. It's all ruined.
I wondered if you had any advice for any up-and-coming dressage riders out there.
Advice? Well, none of this would have happened if I just put my riding hat on. So that's my advice. Don't be fashion crazy. Wear a hat. A very emotional Binky there, as you can tell. Now for our second story on Pony Pants. Six months ago, Katie Grice had it all. A former glamorous model, fashion personality and horse rider, Katie had made millions from books, calendars and a range of equestrian clothing. She was known for her big hair, big personality and having the biggest hay nets in the business. However, on a fateful day a few months ago, Katie went fashion crazy. She left her riding hat in the tack room and decided just to wear a dressage headband. It's a day she will never forget. During a routine schooling session, Katie was practicing half-halts when her horse spooked violently at a Swarovski crystal on his own exercise bandage. The impact was severe. A skilled rider, Katie stayed in the saddle, but the impact was so severe that her own plait flicked over the back of her head and whipped her in the face, leaving her facially disfigured and with severe whiplash. Katie was kind enough to talk to us in the Pony Pants studio.
Katie, I can appreciate this is a difficult time, but I just wanted to say thank you for talking to Pony Pants.
Thanks.
Katie, would you agree that all things considered, you were probably quite lucky?
Are you joking me? I've lost everything. I've lost my business, I've lost my man. Who wants to buy calendars of a girl with a plait-shaped scar on her forehead? He just came over and whacked me in the face.
I'm sure you'll be back on a horse in no time, though, and soon forget about it.
Why would I want to get back on a horse? Everywhere I go, every time I ride, I'll be reminded of this. I'll be able to see it in the dressage mirrors, in my patent boots, in my brow band. No, I won't be getting back on a horse.
Have you got any advice for any Pony Pants viewers?
Advice? Yeah, I've got some advice. Ride with a riding hat on, otherwise you won't end up looking like Harry Potter.
That's it for tonight's edition of Pony Pants. Two devastating stories, as I'm sure you'll agree. That's it for tonight, but we'd like to leave you with the following thoughts. And don't forget, clean your ponies and clean your pants. Good night. look like Harry Potter.